Now, it's important to understand that narcissistic people are not able to have a disagreement with anybody. They don't know what it is to even have a disagreement, not a healthy disagreement. When it comes to the ability to agree to disagree, narcissists are lacking the part of the brain or soul or spirit that even allows that. And the reason is because they lack empathy. Empathy is what allows people to even disagree in a healthy way, because empathy is able to understand that this is my views, I have my views, and I understand and respect and accept your views. We can therefore agree to disagree. Narcissistic people can't have that. So what they're left with is animosity, resentment, bitterness, hatred, and anger towards anybody who has a differing opinion or differing view. And don't ever let a narcissistic person try to convince you that that's part of a disagreement. It's not. It's narcissistic abuse. Let's talk about this. My name is Kevin, and this is The Royal We. Now, first, I want to share with you a video that I came across. This can't be good, but we need to watch this because your kids might be going to school with this guy's kid.
I will 100% teach my son, beat the shit out of kids who make fun of you. Words do not solve problems. Bullies are not going to stop unless you punch them in the mouth. And anybody who says, use your words and have a conversation has never been bullied. Words do not solve it. If anything, they're just going to call you gay or call you soft or make fun of you more because you want to have a soft conversation. Just punch them in the face and move on with your life. I will 100%.
Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to begin with this guy, but that can't be good. That can't be healthy. Telling your kids to go around and just punch people in the mouth every time they make a joke, I'm afraid for this guy and for his kid, because one day he's going to punch the wrong person in the mouth at the wrong time, and he's, I don't know, going to get himself killed. He makes it sound so easy. Oh, just go punch him in the mouth, move on with your life, until you do that and there is no moving on with your life or something tragic happens. Listen, there's no reason to listen to people who mouth off or make inappropriate jokes and think you have to punch them in the mouth. I would never educate my kids on that. Listen, if I punched everybody in the mouth who made fun of me because I'm bald, I'd be in jail. And by the way, that's the other option. You know, you walk around punching people because they make jokes or make fun of you, you're either going to go to jail or get killed. Listen, he's wrong in that there's only two options, right? He indicates that you either punch them in the mouth or you have a soft conversation. Neither one is true. The reality is, in a world full of narcissistic people, the best thing to do, if you really just want to move on with your life, is to turn your back to the idiots and move on with your life. You don't have to go and punch them in the mouth, and you definitely don't even have to go and have a soft conversation with them. Either one plays into what bullies and narcissists want. If you turn around and try to get in a fist fight with a narcissistic person, what you're basically saying is, you're so powerful and your words and you making fun of me has so much weight in my life that I have to fight you now because I have to gain my power back from you. You stole it. Or if you try to even have a soft conversation with them, you're like, please, let's talk about this. Please, I need you to be nice to me because you're so powerful. Listen, I say, as the royal we, don't give them the benefit of either one. Simply turn your back. Narcissistic people are creeps. They're idiots. They're stupid. Why would you even entertain it? Just turn around, turn your back, walk away. Now, is there a place for defending yourself physically? Absolutely. That's if they're coming up to you, putting their hands on you. Then absolutely. Don't punch them in the mouth, punch them right in the throat. But that's only if they put their hands on you. Okay? That's fine. That's self-defense. But what this guy's promoting, telling his kid, hey, if somebody makes fun of you, makes fun of your bald head, make sure you go punch them right in the nose and then move on with your life. Yeah, that's a one-way ticket to jail or getting killed. So but hey, listen, that's fine. Do your thing, but I don't think that's good advice. I wouldn't let him teach my kids. That's all I'm saying. All right, now let's move on with today's topic. But before I do, I want to remind you that I am here to support you. Down in the description box right below this video, you'll find access for one-on-one appointments with me. I take telephone calls and video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp, so you do not need to deal with narcissistic bullies alone. Not in your marriage, not in your workplace, not in your family. I am here to talk with you, to coach with you, and to strategize together with you to get you free of the toxicity. schedule that one-on-one time with me down below in the description box, right below this video. Also, consider joining the Royal We private coaching membership. This is where you get daily live support from me with a growing community of people from all over the world. We have weekly fellowship together. We also have weekly Zoom calls together in addition to the daily lives. So you don't want to miss the opportunity to join the Royal We private membership down below in the description box. Now, one last announcement. This isn't joining a membership and it's not scheduling one-on-one time with me. It's absolutely free. And it's Monday through Friday. I invite you to work out with me each and every afternoon for 30 minutes. You dedicate 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes of your time. I guarantee you major results for your life, mentally, emotionally, and physically. I'm going to accomplish with you in less than 30 minutes each and every day what most people go to the gym and spend 2 hours in the gym, grab ass in and talking to people and working out. Listen, you don't need to waste all that time in the gym. Instead, spend it with me. And what's different about this is I'm actually going to be working out together with you. We're doing this together. And so I challenge you to keep up with me for the next 6 months, and we will see what your physique looks like in 6 months. We'll see what your mental, emotional, and physical health looks like in 6 months if you keep up with me. Dedicate 30 minutes a day with me, all right? So in order to find out about this, you just have to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, and you'll be notified when I start. I will be going live right here on this channel Monday through Friday. 30-minute workout, less than 30 minutes, Monday through Friday, every afternoon. Sound good? All right. Subscribe, bell notification, you won't miss out. Now then, let's get into today's topic. We're talking about how narcissistic people are simply not able to disagree. Now, when we look at the concept of disagreeing, a disagreement, it is basically agreeing to disagree. Now, agreeing to disagree means that you have to have empathy. You have to have the ability to say, this is me, this is my views, this is my values, this is what I believe, and that's you. That's what you believe. Those are your values or lack of values or whatever the case may be. And that's fine. That's how you want to live your life. This is how I want to live my life. It takes empathy to be able to separate the two of you in that moment and still be respectful. Understand that they're a human being with their own belief system, their own values based on their own life experiences that might be different from your life experiences, which have created some of your beliefs and some of your values. It takes empathy to be able to create a bridge of understanding that doesn't cause you to hate the other person. Narcissistic people, only narcissists who, for whatever reason, when God was handing out empathy, the gift of empathy, narcissistic people didn't get in line, or God forgot about putting empathy in their life. And one of the ways that you can tell this is because they're not able to, in a healthy way, accept the reality that this is me, and my experiences and my values have made me have these beliefs, and this is you. They can't do that. They can only see it as it has to be this way. It has to be the way that I know. And anybody else who thinks differently needs to be attacked, needs to be cut down, needs to be abused, needs to be called names, needs to be whatever. And what's interesting is they think that that's a disagreement, but it's not. It's hatred. It's cruelty. It's bullying. It's animosity. It's absolutely absurd to call that a disagreement when, as I just mentioned, a disagreement is a healthy form of two people agreeing to disagree. Two people holding a space for their own views, their own values, and still being able to have a bridge of respect. Narcissistic people can't do that. Bridge of respect meaning common courtesy. How about that? Because not everybody's lifestyle is respectful. Listen, there's people out there who I have no respect for. Okay? There is having respect for people, which means you value them, you admire them, you respect their lifestyle, you value and admire their lifestyle. That's respecting them. There's no respect, which means you don't value their lifestyle. You don't admire their way of living. I have many people that I know in this life who I have no respect for. The in-laws of the mother of my kids, the siblings, I have no respect for their lifestyle and how they choose to live their life and their multiple partners and whatever drinking and whatever issues in the partying. I have no respect for it, which means I don't admire their lifestyle. That's all that means. I don't admire it. I don't really want anything to do with that. Okay? Even that is healthy. It's healthy to not have respect for people. You can have respect for people. You can not have respect for people so long as you're not attacking them. That's when it gets into a third one, which is disrespect. Disrespect is different than no respect. Having no respect, like I said, simply means I don't admire their lifestyle, but I'm going to stay away. That's their life. Disrespect says, I have no respect for them. I'm going to go let them know it. I'm going to tell them how horrible they are. I'm going to judge them. I'm going to criticize them. I'm going to attack them for their choices. I'm going to tell them they're stupid, and I'm going to call them names and blah, 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 blah to their face. I'm going to start fights with them, on and on. So that's disrespect, okay? Some people might say, Kevin, you just disrespected them because you talked about them. I'm just making the case that I don't have any respect for them. But no, I'm not on their social media attacking them. I never went into their lives accusing them and cussing them out and calling them names because of their life choices. I don't do that, right? I'm able to agree to disagree with our lifestyle differences. That's fine. Now, this is what's really important because narcissistic people can't do that. So we need to first have this understanding of what it is to be able to disagree. All right? Narcissists cannot do that. And now watch this. This is interesting, and this is why I'm making this video. Last night I posted a video that's talking about a way that you can judge to test whether or not you're dealing with the narcissistic person, and it's an empathy test. Now, I'm going to summarize the video, but I'm going to put a link right here. I encourage you to watch the whole video. It's a remarkable video. The summary of the video is this. Judging and testing for somebody's level of empathy is not just about sharing your vulnerabilities and what makes you sad and seeing if they can relate to you. That's typically how we view empathy is whether or not they can sit with us in our sadness. But empathy is so much more than that. It's better to try to judge a person's empathy level by trying to get them to sit with you through your joy. Have them try to sit with you through you talking about your passion and what excites you, what makes you excited, what you're passionate about, what you're happy about, your laughter. All right? This is what will show you somebody's empathy because it requires a tremendous amount of empathy for a person to sit with you when you're in your moment of passion, when you're in joy, when you're in excitement. And what you're going to notice is that somebody who's has a lot of empathy, they're going to share in your excitement. They're going to be excited just because you're excited. They're going to be asking questions like, whoa, tell me more. I love your excitement. That energy is going to, they're going to match that energy because their empathy is able to connect with yours. That's how you know you're dealing with somebody with empathy. With a narcissistic person who lacks empathy, again, they were absent when God was passing out empathy cards. Since they don't have empathy, they cannot connect with your joy, your excitement. They're going to be left with this awkward squirming. They're going to squirm in their seat. This is typically common when narcissistic people are around you. If you're laughing really hard, if you are passionate about something, if you're excited about something, you'll watch them squirm. They'll become uncomfortable. And a narcissistic person is likely to do one of a few things. They'll either change the subject immediately to something ridiculous. Oh, this over here. Or they'll try to bring the attention back onto themselves to get it off of you. Why are they doing that, by the way? They're trying to get the attention off of you in that moment. It's because your level of excitement, your energy, and your passion is making them very uncomfortable. And because they don't have empathy, they cannot connect with you there. They feel absolutely threatened. So they have to take the energy off of you. They have to take the attention off of you because you're making them so uncomfortable because of your joy and put it onto them. So they'll change the subject, or they will, they'll attack you. They'll criticize you. They'll say, I don't know why you like that so much. That's stupid. I don't get it. I don't get why you like that. I don't understand it. And they'll attack you, right? They'll try to suck the air. They'll try to pop your balloon, so to speak. They'll try to take the wind out of your sails. They'll try to knock the wind out of your stomach. Anything to get you to stop talking about what you're so passionate about. So again, all of these are indications that a narcissistic person, that's what you're dealing with, is a narcissist, and there's no empathy. They have no way of connecting with you emotionally or mentally in your time of joy and with what you're passionate about. Okay, that's the point of that video. Now, I did have some people leave comments because there are some diagnosed narcissists who watch my videos and follow this channel, which is always fascinating to me. One of the comments that I got was, okay, Kevin, I guess what you're saying is, if you're judging for someone's empathy and they're not able to share in your joy and excitement, I guess what you're saying, Kevin, is that if somebody disagrees with you, then that they're automatically a narcissist. And I'm like, here we go. Where have I heard that line before? Oh, that's right. I've heard it from narcissists. That's exactly what narcissistic people say. It's interesting. I wouldn't believe that I have narcissistic people on the channel who are diagnosed, but then when they make comments like that, I'm like, absolutely, that's a narcissistic comment. I mean, let's break this down. First of all, did I say at any point in the video that I made that if somebody disagrees with somebody's passions or joy that they're a narcissist? No, those words never came out of my mouth. Only a narcissistic person would jump to that conclusion, simply because I'm indicating that they're not able to be curious or engage with the joy. It makes them awkward. So a narcissistic person is going to take the route of, oh, well, it's a disagreement. How do you know that makes them are you saying that makes them a narcissist? No. But what we need to do here is understand what a healthy disagreement looks like, right? So absolutely, it's okay to have a disagreement, but also be able to have the empathy to be excited and happy for somebody else. You don't have to agree with them, right? Being able to disagree. Again, all disagreement is, it's a agree to disagree. It's, I'm excited for you because that's your life, that's your choice, but it's not for me, but I'm happy for you. I think that's awesome. I'm happy to see you happy with it. I'm excited to see you passionate about that. It's not my thing, but man, that's awesome that you like that. I'd like to learn more about it. I don't know enough about it to really know what you're experiencing, but I feel how passionate you are about it, right? So a disagreement is simply just not really liking it. Now, I know some people right here will say, well, Kevin, that's fake. That's fake and that's phony. Most narcissists will say that. I'd rather tell them that I don't like it. Well, but then now you're just running the risk of attacking a person. And at that point, just be honest with the person and say, you know what? We can't be together. I don't like you. Because the truth is that if you can't be on board with the person's passions and their interests, then what in the world are you doing with them? If you ask me, that's a form of significant evil and abuse. But that's what narcissistic people do now, isn't it? They would look at somebody and say, I don't like this person's passions. I don't like their interests, and I'm going to let them know about it. I hate how excited they get over this because I disagree with it, but I don't want them out of my life because I want to use them for my own benefit. I still want to use them. I still want to get things from them. I just hate what they like. Now, to me, that's evil, and that's what narcissists do. So my response to narcissistic people is, listen, if you have that much animosity, if it's so disgusting to you that to a narcissistic person, if it's that disgusting to be in the presence of somebody who has passions and joy and excitement, then just do the right thing and end the relationship. Don't be stupid. Don't be evil. Don't be cruel. Don't be like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I tear that person down for what they like, but I'm still going to use them for my own benefit. To me, that's what narcissistic people do. Now, what's interesting about it is narcissistic people will in fact say that their cruelty, their meanness, their arguing, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're calling you names, they're cussing you out. They will in fact say that it is a disagreement. In fact, I heard this when I was dealing with the narcissistic in-laws. This is one of the things that just blew my mind, is looking back, when I did try to speak with them about some of the issues in the relationship, what I heard was, oh, Kevin, it was just a disagreement. We just had disagreements. And I was thinking to myself, I don't ever remember having a disagreement. Because again, as an empathic person, our view of a disagreement is very different. I view a disagreement as us being able to agree to disagree. We have our own beliefs, we have our own values, but we can create a bridge of common courtesy in between. That's you, this is me. I don't ever remember doing that. As a matter of fact, I still to this day don't even understand what a lot of our differences really are. What there was a lot of name calling, cussing, calling me all kinds of weird stuff, whatever, and them saying that that's a disagreement. I remember, for example, I'll just put this out there. At that time, it was when Obama was running for presidency. I'm not a liberal Democratic voter. I'm not. I happen to be conservative, but I've never had an issue. In fact, when I was growing up, it wasn't even that big of an issue. Nobody cared. I grew up in Southern California where skateboarding, surfing, and I've always had conservative views, but always got along even with my liberal friends, and we'd surf together, skate together. No big deal. We weren't calling each other names. That didn't exist when I was growing up, right? Suddenly, I'm dealing with narcissistic in-laws, and they're like, Kevin, you're voting for Obama, right? I'm like, no, I don't really agree. What? And then, oh boy, the name calling. It was an all-out assault, right? One of them even said, I should kill you for not wanting to vote. I'm like, what? Where did this come from? And by the way, many of you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not saying anything that's new. This is kind of what awakened us. We've all experienced this, right? I think we all have kind of seen some weird stuff, especially in the political parties, out in the streets, threatening with violence, all and this and that because of and they call it a disagreement? Go raise hell. This is the way we disagree now. Go attack people. If they're eating dinners, go because they're not doing what we want. They're not looking at the world through what we say it should be, right? And that's very narcissistic. That's what narcissism is. Narcissists are like, no, there is no healthy disagreement. There is no agree to disagree. If you disagree, then that means you're attacking me, and therefore I need to attack you. And that's the really interesting part. Since narcissists lack the empathy to be able to agree to disagree, again, disagreements require empathy. Since narcissists have no empathy, then they can't even accept your disagreement as something that's healthy. They genuinely see your disagreement as an attack on them. So, for example, if they are liberal and you say, listen, I'm not, I'm more conservative, and you're not trying to say that in a hurtful way, a narcissist will perceive that as an attack. How dare you? They will pick something up and start to try to throw it at you. Why? Because they lack the empathy to allow a bridge between two different views. Your view and their view as two individual people with different experiences and different backgrounds, and being able to accept that and say, okay, I see. That's how you want to, that's what you believe. That's not what I believe. That's fine. I feel like today, perhaps some primarily of the liberals are coming around. I feel like a lot of them have watched a lot of their own stuff on the news and burning cities and breaking stuff. I feel like even they have come to this place of, yeah, a lot of liberalism has gotten really out of hand and become very hateful. And I feel like they're getting sick of it. And I don't feel like they have any choice because I think the world is kind of speaking against it by not speaking out. It's not like, you don't see anybody else out in the world trying to damage property. I feel like they've kind of realized they've made fools of themselves in a lot of ways. And that's great. You want narcissistic people to eventually be able to see they're making fools of themselves simply because they can't handle people having different views than them. Okay? So this is what's interesting about it. And I'm not trying to make this a political conversation, but it's just an example that narcissistic people are not able to have healthy disagreements because they lack the empathy to do so. So, which means that you disagreeing with them, they're going to perceive it as an attack. When they call you names and cuss you out and attack you, they're going to call that a disagreement. It's fascinating. It's just mind-blowing how wild and ridiculous a lot of it is. But the reason we need to talk about this is because you need to be able to not only judge for their level of empathy, right? By having tests. How do they respond to your joy, to your laughter, to your passions, to your interests? But most importantly, you also need to judge based on what they call a disagreement. Are they calling you names, cussing you out, and saying this is part of a disagreement? Are they attacking you? Are they being mean, cruel, nasty, mocking you, calling it a disagreement? Or are they interested in what you're doing and saying, yet they're also saying, listen, I'm glad you believe that, but I believe in a little bit differently, and this is what I believe, and showing that they're able to bridge between the two of you. If they're not able to do that, well, then they're narcissistic, and you don't need to be with them because it's just going to be crushing. Ultimately, all that's going to happen in a relationship with a narcissistic person who's not able to have a healthy disagreement with you, they're going to criticize you, and they will stop at nothing to try to pound out of you verbally, mentally, emotionally, maybe even physically, where they feel you're wrong, to try to get you into alignment with them, because narcissistic people have to operate in a world of enmeshment. Again, it takes empathy to accept that there are different people with different views. Since narcissistic people were not given that empathy card by God, they cannot accept two different people with different views. You're either enmeshed with them or they can't be around you. Which means your joy, your laughter, your sadness, anything that is outside of them, they can't handle it. They don't know what to do with it. They hate it. And they will try to destroy you, and they'll make you feel really bad about it. Hope this video has reached you. It's important to understand these things. I dealt with a lot of lack of empathy from the narcissistic in-laws. They'd call me all kinds of names and then call it a disagreement. If I disagree with them, they couldn't stand it. They really just flew off the handle. Again, these people require absolute enmeshment because they have no empathy. And that's the point. And you really want somebody with empathy in your life so that you can continue to be an authentic version of you alongside a true authentic version of somebody else and be supportive of each other. And if you need help trying to find this in your life, let me know. Down in the description box, you can schedule one-on-one time with me. I do take telephone calls and video calls through Zoom, FaceTime, and WhatsApp. Don't forget the Rowie private membership is available. Also, don't forget to work out with me Monday through Friday, 12:30 Central Time, beginning tomorrow. Give me 30 minutes of your time. Dedicate 30 minutes to me, and I'll be back with more videos for you right here on the Rowie. Bye.